So, a lot of people, hold on. A lot of people aren't really into the zodiac sign thing, yet always know their zodiac sign. It's like, I was born June this, so I'm a Gemini. Or I was born August this, so I'm a Leo. But do you ever read into it? So, for me, and I like to always start off by saying, you may not agree. Well, I'm not here for everyone to agree with me. It's really me just sharing my thoughts. For whoever kind of gets it or whoever wants knowledge of it, it's like you can decide, well, maybe I'll read about it, or maybe I already know about it. Maybe I need to do more research or whatever. Um, for me, I like to look at patterns. So it's really like the patterns that people see. That's why they're able to say a Sagittarius is this, that, the other, the negative and positive traits. Same for Virgo, Leo, Scorpio, all these things. It's people that have took the time to study this, okay? And that's why the information is out there. And that's why I use the information for my good, for whatever I want to use it for. I believe that if you learn something, it's easier for you to change it and make it how you want it to be. So maybe, for example, you're a Leo and you go online and you read all these things about you, but the negatives are more in line with your patterns of behavior than the positives. But you don't like that. You don't want to be the negative Leo. You don't want to be on that spectrum, on the more negative side. So then you could use that information and make yourself better. That's how you change things. You learn, then you change. You learn how to make a banana bread, then you remix it, and instead of adding cinnamon, you add nutmeg or both or whatever it is. Okay, so just so we get the idea of where I'm going with this, I wanted to just talk about like the worst zodiac sign that I ever dated. And to me, it's really because these people don't take time to like really learn themselves. It's just like, this is how I am. The worst thing, I feel like that's the worst thing I like to hear is like, this is how I am. It's like, I could say this is how I look, because this is how I was born. I could say, this is how I like my food. I like it hot instead of cold. I like moose track ice cream or cookies and cream instead of strawberry. These are preferences. But for someone to tell you something about you that is negative, and these are patterns of your negative behavior, and for you to be like, that's just how I am, instead of trying to change it, which is going to be better for you, I think is just sad. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You're doing these things that just get you in trouble all the time. That's just how I am. Well, what is it going to take to change you? Anyways, the worst zodiac sign I ever did was an Aquarius. And I feel like there's a reason why Aquarians aren't really talked about much. Very stubborn. I don't know. Very stubborn. It's like you're trying to talk to someone, but it's like you're talking to a brick wall. And when I say date, I mean like went out with, try to get to know, like seeing patterns, talking about it, but no resolution. It's like you're telling this person, you're telling this person this is what, and they refuse to change. I personally like feedback. I can handle it. I mean, I like what you say, depending on how you say it, but I'm gonna think about what it is that you said and decide if I want to make changes or not. Or I've been told before, what have I been told? I've been told that I'm stubborn only because I wasn't doing what that person wanted me to do, which it wasn't in alignment with what I thought was good for me, so I didn't do it. Certain things, people try to tell me that I act like I know everything, because you see them for who they are. Half the time, I never have to speak and say anything. My movements, like the way I move with you, will tell you that I don't really fuck with you like that. Like, and I could give an example of, there was this lady that I used to live with. Don't know, I don't think I gave this story before, but the way she used to treat people, this lady was in her 60s. I mean, you're in your 60s acting like this. I'm not hoping for change. Like, she would just talk to people in like the rudest way, or just put it there, or just bossy. So it didn't take me long for me to like just back away and not want to deal with her. Like, no conversations, just hi, whatever. And then, just pretending to be what you're not. I remember she was just always trying to be bragging. And then one time I went to get the mail and saw that she got a Capital One card. People that get Capital One cards, if I know anything, is, I feel like, I don't know. Okay, anyways, I assumed that because she got that, it meant kind of that your credit's bad. Because if you have good credit, you can get credit with your bank, and you own a house. You're pretending to be all these things that you're not. She was a Leo, so very known for these things, to brag, buy things they can't afford, type shit. Anyways, so I think she was just embarrassed because she knows that I know. What do you think you know everything? Didn't take me long to just be like, peace. So yeah, when you patterns, when you know patterns, you know kind of how people are gonna be. The only how that changes is if, like, you know yourself, you decide to love yourself and be a better person. But if you just continue the bullshit cycle, live in your hurts, don't try to evolve from the situations, try to be a better person. Not a lot of people in the world really take time to be knowledgeable about things and, like, learn about things. It's like just a pattern of he say, she say. Like, a lot of times people would go around saying stuff like the dumbest stuff. I don't know. And then you don't even know if it's true, but you go around and you're saying it too. Let me see if I could get an example. An example could just be pulled out about what we're talking about, zodiac signs. So you decide to be the Gemini that can't settle down with one woman, the Gemini that has to date Tom, Dick, and Harry, because that's what it's like to be a Gemini. People that just grab on and latch on to things and use this as the rule book to live their lives. Saddest thing. Now, I'm a Sagittarius, but am I a typical Sagittarius? I don't think so. I'm not really into being out there just for the sake of it, being all stylish and like these things. I mean, it's good. I'm just like more of a simple person, so technically I'm not. It's not good. I don't think it's good to just like try to be like everybody else. I just am myself, and I work on improving myself all the time as I go, and I know that I will be a better person tomorrow, next week, next year, because I actively work on learning and reflecting and being better. So yeah, worst sign ever dated was an Aquarius, really because of just that stubbornness, not never doing, unreliable. They will really neglect you when things don't go their way. That means anyone, like their family members, their own kids, and all it takes is like really seeing these patterns and making kinds of changes. So yeah, so far, the coldest I've ever dated was an Aquarius. And date, like, again says like went out with, liked, tried to have these conversations, but it wasn't getting through. So right off the bat, I knew that this wasn't something that I wanted to be a part of. Obviously, you ask questions like birthdays and all these things, you get to know, and it's like, oh, okay, you see the patterns, because I've dated two. Even my godfather, actually, I had to give this story.